Hey, this is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Aerials podcast, now with the Digit Network. Thanks so much for tuning in. I cannot believe this, but this is season 5. So thanks to you. This is a thriving podcast, reaching the corners of the world, all the women out there, and I'm so excited and proud to be with you. All right, super excited because I am launching a new podcast with my 2 co-hosts, Noah Dock and Amanda Ritchie. And we are going to be on this feed on Thursdays. It is called The Artist Entrepreneur. We are 3 aerialists and dancers navigating our businesses. And if you'd like to check that out, just check out your inbox on Thursdays. Also in partnership with Sweet Retreats, I'm so excited to be hosting an intermediate aerial dance retreat June 21st through the 28th. Still have some spots available. Please check out the show notes for that. Roll it out every Tuesday and Thursday. Of course, my comprehensive course for those who want to train on their own or you have spotty access to instructors. It's beginner to intermediate, fully online. And then, of course, aerial rehab, postpartum, post-injury, meant to be the bridge between PT and your favorite aerial class. Of course, I'm teaching all over the place this year, Texas, heading back to LA, Ohio, and of course, Oaxaca in June. Let's get started.
For real.
All right, go. Go. Anna, oh my God, this is very representative of my life, though. You want hugs? So we're in San Antonio, and today is... it's really weird because it's hot. It's humid and hot.
And you're at the Arium?
I am.
That is so cool. I've been wanting, that's awesome. You're doing so much cool stuff. That is exciting.
Oh, I try. I know. Dara's pretty good, right? Huh? So Anna, where do you come to us from?
So just going to put it out there now. It's Anna Samaniego. I know it's Anna online. So it was like, I just realized that this is probably, she's going to think it's Piranha when she's reaching out to me. I am in Michigan. So I'm in a small town, Hamburg, that's like 30 minutes away from Ann Arbor area, which is where most of the studios are that I've practiced in. But I teach in a studio in Wixom, and then Detroit's like an hour away. So I started at the Detroit Fly House.
Is Detroit Fly House just an aerial studio?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
And it was the first one in the area and the only one for so long. And now there's just a ton popping up all over. So a lot of
my God, that's amazing.
Stuff. Yeah, and then I'm out of Wixom and Ann Arbor.
So, I mean, I said it a million times here. I'm from Ohio.
Yeah.
So I have been like brainwashed to think Michigan's the worst.
They did it to Michigan too.
They're like, Ohio people are the worst. It's just all about football.
Just is like, it was trained out of me though, because I had actually an aerial coach who moved to Ohio, and she's like, I don't want to hear it anymore. I love it here. She does bird's eye view circus. I don't know if you've been. Oh,
no, but I'm going to go to Ohio all right, listeners, I think I'm telling you guys this for the first time. April 5th, I think. I'm going to go to Ohio and teach a couple workshops. But anyways, okay, so you're Midwest. And how long have you been in your aerial practice?
I feel like it's about 12 years. It could be more, 13.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So like I said, I started in Detroit, and then they opened up a couple studios in Ann Arbor.
Okay.
And I've only been teaching for a couple of years.
Anna, what's your favorite thing to be on?
Silks.
I love it. And you teach silks?
I teach silks. Yeah. So I started youth this year. I'm actually on maternity leave now. I was like, I'm going to teach right up until 8.5 months, right when I deliver. And we are at 6 months. And I was like, no, I'm good. This is hard. This is tiring.
Okay, yeah, we're going to I want to hear all about that. Okay, so you've been in your practice for about 12 years. Is this your first pregnancy?
Yep.
Okay, first pregnancy, was this planned or a surprise blessing?
Planned, yeah.
Okay.
So been nervous, and it was just, I think a lot of what, so I'm 33, and I've been teaching kids for years, not silks, I teach science to kids too. And I've known I wanted kids for a long time. And I think a big holdup was honestly just it was silks and climbing and stuff like that, where I'm just after the show or something like that, we'll try. And then I had like, just a lot of barriers where it was like, you're trying to be prepared for it. And you're like, no, you just have to have a baby. You just have to get pregnant and have the baby because there's always going to be something.
Yeah. Money too. Like, oh, let's wait till we have more money. You can always have more money.
And it started out there, and then it kind of turned into like, okay, we're kind of in a place. I've been married for 8 years and we've known we wanted kids, but there was always something, and then,
okay.
Yeah.
Are you and your partner around the same age?
He's, we're close. I think he's 2 years older than me, roughly. Yeah.
So you guys had been trying. How would you characterize that part of it, the trying part? Long, short, stressful, not stressful?
So both, everything all at once. So it was quick once I have multiple sclerosis. So that was like another one of those barriers where it was like, okay, having kids and having this autoimmune disease that I was struggling with for a while, but it also had a lot to do with like pelvic floor pain and dysfunction and stuff like that. So that was a big thing that I was like, I want to get that sorted out with pelvic floor therapy. So that was like the long part of it. But then once I was just like, okay, we're just doing this, it happened very quickly. I used a Natural Cycles app, which was just, it helped so much. It was like that. Yeah.
So this is the 5th season of my podcast. And I have never really talked to somebody who is trying to get pregnant with multiple sclerosis. So can you, for the dummies, me included out there, what is it? How does it affect your life and how does it affect fertility? If you might be the best person to talk about that, maybe, that I know.
I'm not sure. So at first I was seeing like high risk OB, but it doesn't quite affect fertility, I would say. But it's definitely, the big thing about it is everybody says, like, there's a lot of studies that show that your MS symptoms go away when you're pregnant. And I think that it's quite a few autoimmune diseases. Pregnancy helps with those symptoms during pregnancy. But
no one knows why. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, I think there are some theories out there, but I'm not smart enough to know and explain them to you. I'm sorry.
No, all good.
But yeah, multiple sclerosis is, it's an autoimmune disease that sort of attacks the brain and spine with lesions. So it's one of those, it affects everyone a little bit differently. It can be both physical and cognitive disabilities that it affects. So for me, I have a couple lesions on my spine and a couple on my brain. And I found out that I had it when I had like numbness throughout my right leg and sides. I sometimes get weakened grip. I had double vision for a while, which was crazy. It's for some people, they like can't see when they have a relapse, things like that. So it's just sort of in and out disability depending, and it's really different for a lot of people. So some people it affects all the time. Some people are affected and they are in a wheelchair. Some people, they might use a cane or something like that. And some people it's like on and off, like myself. So it affects everybody differently. And I'm not sure, there could be some people whose fertility is affected based on
where the lesion is. Is there medication to help? Yes, go ahead. To prevent the lesions from forming, or afterwards, like what does someone do before or after?
Lots of different treatments out there. The one that I was on was a monthly infusion. And I'm not on it now. And they sort of say that pregnancy sort of protects your body during, from any more lesions developing or anything like that. I haven't had any new ones since I started treatment, and I haven't had any relapses as well. So it helps both with mitigating relapses. I have relapsing remitting. There's a couple different kinds.
Okay.
Primary progressive, secondary progressive, different kinds, but I have relapsing remitting, and I haven't had any relapses since I started treatment. And then after I give birth, I can go back on a different type of treatment. That'll be another infusion treatment that is, you're allowed to breastfeed with it.
Oh, technology really has come a long way.
So yeah, I was really excited to hear that, because I'm not sure the one that I was on before I could have, and I was ready to switch that treatment anyway.
Okay. This is very interesting. Oh my God. Can you hear the ruckus that my daughter is having right now?
No, but I'm here for it. I love it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Anna, tell me how your pregnancy has gone. First trimester, second trimester.
Oh, I have not loved being pregnant, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm like, finally, too, because people would be like, how are you feeling? How's it going? And I just didn't want to hear that question anymore. But all things considered, good, healthy, happy. Morning sickness was terrible. It felt like a hangover every day, all day for weeks. And then it's, again, the other thing about multiple sclerosis is that you don't know if it's that or if it's something else. I had hip pain, and I was like, is that just part of that, or is that related to something else? Like, I do a lot of, I'm very physically active. So was this something that I did? Was it climbing? Was it aerial? Was it, what was it? And then it was hard to sleep. And now we're mellowing out, and he's healthy. I'm feeling healthier. I'm sleeping better. So finally feeling better, but first and second trimester. And the morning sickness, everyone kept saying like, oh, that'll end in the second trimester. And it subsided just a bit. And then it just kept coming back in like waves.
Do you know if you had technically hyperemesis? Hyperemesis is like extreme form of morning sickness that lasts.
No, I have never even heard of that. I have like, I was given I don't even remember what it's called now.
Anti-nausea?
Yeah, it was an anti-nausea. And I didn't have to use it that much. Like, it just didn't make me feel great anyway. It wouldn't.
Anyway, it has other things going on. Yeah.
And it wasn't like end of the world. Like, I still taught through it. I still climbed through it. It was just uncomfortable. And anything related to the pregnancy was uncomfortable. But it was manageable. Yeah.
Were you actually throwing up, or was it just the feeling of wanting to throw up?
Mostly the feeling, definitely some days where I would get sick. And it would
arguably worse or better if you could actually throw up?
Better, because then it would stop. I would.
You have a little relief, right?
Yeah. But it was just frustrating because and it would always hit really hard, like when I'm about to leave for something. I'm like, okay, getting ready. I'm ready to go. I brush my teeth, and that's, then it was like, okay, and we're just going to sit here and breathe for a little bit, get through this, and then wait for it.
A lot of the women that I talk to who enjoy pregnancy, I think the number one indicator is if they do or not is if they have morning sickness. That seems to oh, I love pregnancy. Did you get morning sickness? No, I was very lucky. That's the conversation.
Yeah, well, I will say, I saw somebody online who was like, I don't, you're going to hear this and hate this, but I didn't have any pregnancy symptoms, and you're going to roll your eyes if you had symptoms, but it was a curse on its own. And I was ready to roll my eyes, but then she was like, I have kind of like anxiety. Like, is everything going okay down there? And I know I would freak out if I didn't have a sign that, still there. Morning sickness is still there. So we're good. And I've heard.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. When, people get farther into the pregnancy, it's really like, oh my God, this kid is kicking me. But then it's also relieving because you're like, well, they're alive and well down there because they're, you're kicking the crap out of me.
He started really just before I got on, he was
just having it.
Yeah. You could see movement.
Yeah. I mean, one time I think I got a video, but the video didn't really capture it because I think I got my camera a little too late. But I was laying on my back with just inclined, and it looked like Alien was trying to come out. That's how much she was just like, it was just elbows and feet, right? So I was like, oh my God.
It's it's a feeling when you can't see it. And then it's a different feeling when you can like see it move across your stomach and feel it. And when I first felt him moving, I spent like an entire day in bed, just like, is something wrong? Because I couldn't tell. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I just, my brain wasn't processing what was happening. I was like, something feels weird. And I was like, I feel like I should call triage, but I don't know how to describe it. And then I ended up calling and I was like, I don't know. I feel weird.
And they're like, that's not helpful.
I know. I was like, it's in my stomach, maybe low. It was just like a terrible description. And I was like, I just don't know. Like, so I'm like hormonal upset about it. And luckily the person I was talking to was like, I have a feeling he's started moving. So like, yeah, and that's what it was. We went through a couple of days of that and I had a doctor appointment right after. So.
Anna, where are you in your pregnancy right now? How many weeks?
30 weeks.
30. Okay. So you are still in the second trimester or not?
No, I'm in the third now. Yeah.
You're in the third. Okay.
Just got here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have a hospital midwife now who I just met her recently. So when you're categorized as a high-risk pregnancy, they don't let you see anybody who's not high risk until you're cleared by the high risk. But the first appointment that I went to, they were like, oh, we don't think that, this is going to change anything. This isn't high risk. You're fine. But they didn't like put it in the computer system or anything that it was cleared. So then I just kept trying to see this midwife. And then finally, like, I just had to get it cleared and they were like, yeah, you're fine. But it just took a while to get there. So really excited. Met this lady. And I finally am feeling comfortable and not just terrified of having like a birth plan and like looking into it. I know that's going to sound probably weird for some people, but I just was like, willful ignorance. This is scary.
I don't think that's weird.
Yeah. And so I just like didn't want to know anything about it because it was kind of keeping me up at night a little bit there. So, but now I'm like feeling more comfortable and I talked with this woman and it started with like in the same week, I was like, I'm going to do an at-home birth. And then I was like, no, I'm going to plan a C-section. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And now I have like a better understanding. I took a birthing class. I talked to this woman and she just like helped me through it. She was like, here's what you want in a birth plan. Like, you just want to know, you want to know what there is to come and what your options are and feel comfortable making that decision. So I took this class and looked into the possibilities. And a lot of it is just being prepared for anything because everyone that I've known in the past 5 years has had an unplanned C-section, except for one person.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's lots of reasons.
Yeah. So I'm just open to whatever because I can plan one thing and then it could just go completely the other way. So I'm just trying to be as chill as I can be about it.
Yeah. I wasn't one to have my heart set on a particular birth plan.
Yeah.
But a lot of women are. And I think it gets coupled with like a lot of emotions on the day of if it doesn't go that way, of course. Because if you have an expectation and it gets completely blown out of the water,
yeah,
that's different than going in and like for me, I was just like, just give me the epidural and give me it fast. That was my view on it. But it's so different for every woman. I mean, I've heard the gamut, like A to Z. Anna, you said you taught throughout first and second trimester, and you recently decided that you're cool. So what was that like?
I think for the like first trimester, it's hard to talk to a doctor about what we do. And so trying to like pick and choose. I teach, at the time I was teaching an intermediate youth, beginner youth, and like mixed level adult class. What moves are safe, like what what are my boundaries here? Trying to talk it through with doctors. And, if you, at first, like some doctors are just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do soaps.
100%.
Don't do timing. My doctors were pretty open to the idea, but they were like, you really need to walk me through what you're doing. And so, first trimester didn't have a lot of changes. Second trimester, for my youth students, when we warm up, we start with skipping. And I started to show when I started to show, I just let everybody know right away. I announced it right away. Like, I'm not going to skip with you guys. There are some things that I'm going to do a little bit differently. Hip keys started to feel weird early on. None of my classes were really doing anything like a wheel down or anything. So I didn't really have to change up too much. I was surprised later into second trimester when my grip started to go. And I don't know if that's a pregnancy thing or an MS thing or just because I'm just not practicing quite as frequently. Just feeling weaker in my grip.
Are you able to teach without demoing? It's hard with kids, right? To do it without demoing. How about your adults?
I actually do have one. I have a private lesson tomorrow, and I have a woman who I can show some videos to and talk through, or I'll talk through. I'll do what I can. If there is like a certain drop that I can slowly walk down, I might show that. That's probably ending soon as well. She's really open to, she's great. She's really open to just watching videos and me talking through it, but it's harder. It's so much harder to just not, be doing the thing as you're explaining it and feel like you're giving a good lesson, as I'm doing it, I can give detail about that I just find is helpful, I guess. Yeah. Does that make sense?
I have made it a personal goal for me never to do things in class, pregnant or not. I don't know. I think early on I came across some teachers who that's what they did. And they were just so good at what they did. And I was like, personal goal.
I love
Sit there like a diva with some sunglasses and tell people what to do, like an old school gymnastics teacher. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't think everybody has the room to do that. For example, where I was working when I was pregnant, I was at the Womack and Bub in the law for almost 10 years, and I was pregnant during that time of my life. And again, no kids classes. And then the students I was working with, I had been working with them. And there was always somebody in the class that could demo for me. So all those things put together, I put some videos together, and it totally works. But in other places, it doesn't work. So I like to ask that question of my teachers on this podcast.
I did teacher training through Paper Doll Militia, and we'd play this game called Wait, What? And no matter what directions you gave someone in a Zoom call, trying to describe the move that you're doing, they could just pick any moment to be like, wait, what? And you'd have to describe it differently so that you weren't on the apparatus at all, but you were just like, okay, pivot, something else. Okay, pivot, something else. And it could be the simplest thing where it's there's no way I could describe this differently, but I have to figure out how to. So that's a fun.
Oh, Rain and Sarah, they're smarty pantses, aren't they?
No, it was incredible.
Yeah, so good. Okay, and then this recent decision to just hold off on the teaching, were you just not worth it, I'm tired?
I think that it was more stemming from who was in my classes at that studio where I'm I do the privates at one studio and then I do the scheduled classes at another. A lot of new youth students in a beginner class. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't feel fair how I was able to teach it and what I was able to offer. I had someone who was ready to cover me for a maternity leave. And so I'm really lucky there where I can just say all right, hopefully in the summer I'll be back,
Yeah. Well, I have to say, to give you some love and support on that, and all the teachers in here, I feel like if it's a choice of you just want to, you're I'm good, and you want to take some time off, and somebody is excited to step in your spot, wonderful. But they're very much getting value out of you just because you're you, I think. That's my view. Because what we teach it's not just what we're doing. That's my view, but I also have a very high view of myself. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, that is.
I think it's for all of us.
People need to hear. It's hard too. Like it's sad to leave it.
Yeah, short amount of time.
Yeah.
Short amount of time.
Yeah.
And so you are like where you are in your pregnancy. You know, I started doing a lot. I started looking up the app. It's not the app, but it's a website where it like shows you the fruit size of your kid inside.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this week it's a coconut, and then it's a papaya. You know, I got like really into that. Yeah. How are you doing in this third trimester? What's your days look like? What are your thoughts?
Just quick on that note, I have to say that whoever is doing the sizes for your pregnancy at Baby List is hilarious. There were 27 or 8. It was like, your baby's the size of a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award. And like,
so original
comparisons, and I'm just cracking up. Like, I don't even know what size that is. Well, Blockbuster Video is one of them. So
a VHS was one of them. How is a baby the size of a VHS? That is hilarious.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how is this? I don't know what this comparison is. Is it the weight? I don't know. Sorry. So you asking how am I in third trimester with what?
Yeah. What's your process? What are your thoughts? Like, are you nesting? Like, what's happening?
Oh, so we decided instead of a baby moon to redo our kitchen before we have a kid.
Oh, is that a smart idea?
No, never. I do not recommend this to anybody, because in this process, we started it and we have found like piping that needs to be redone. We found mold in our wall. We found mold in a different.
Oh,
we had to cut a hole through our floor.
And this is terrible.
Everything that was in the kitchen was moved into what is going to be our nursery. And then everything that was in our dining room had to get moved over for new cabinets. And so that moved into our living room. And so my husband and I are packed into like just our living room on our couch and our bedroom. And so we're just living in these tight quarters. And I am here wanting to nest. I want to nest so bad. And I'm just like outed by all this like stuff moving parts around me. And every day I don't have a kitchen sink. I have a table with like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So I have a table with an air fryer and my coffee pot on it. And just like going to the grocery store to fill up like jugs of water. Oh, it is. And I didn't like, this was going to be just a couple of weeks, and we're looking at like, it's going to be 2 months. And I'm just, why didn't we do the baby moon? We should have done the baby moon.
So wait, you basically opened Pandora's box in the walls of your kitchen.
Yeah.
And now you have to put it all back.
Yep.
But you can't.
It's close. We're close now, but there's still going to be like, they have to measure the countertops, and then it's going to be like weeks until the counters are in, which would be when we get our sink and stuff. Yeah. And then like financially, that was pretty devastating to find all these extra problems that we had to do where we were like, oh, we had this. Yeah, you can't plan anything, huh? And so like, then they were, I'm just like tired at work, and I'm like, nope, gotta still, pick up shifts here and there if I can, because we gotta get through this. Yeah. So.
And you're a teacher, and you're in the classroom with students every day?
No, so I am an office manager. So I do teach occasionally. It's informal science education for elementary.
Oh, I see.
Job. I also bartend. And then I do silk. So I'm a busy bee.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But the like consistent weekly teaching, that's the one that I took the maternity leave from, and I'm doing private lessons. And then a lot of it is work from home, or I can go into the office because it's crazy at my house right now and I can't get a lot done there. Yeah.
All right. So first piece of advice to people: don't unearth your kitchen right before you have a baby, maybe.
No, pick something relaxing. And I'm so I'm glad that we're not finding mold when we have a baby in the house,
Yes, there's that.
So I guess there's like, it's some things I'm just trying to be like, okay, be grateful that you're doing this now, but it's also just, it feels like a terrible time. And then I have another friend who's having a baby and they're going to Mexico. And I'm like, oh, that sounds so lovely.
You're in the thick of it right now. What are you missing from not being pregnant the most?
My aerial practice.
Okay, I thought you were going to say sushi or laying on your stomach.
I do miss laying on my stomach. I have done the like cooked or vegetarian sushi. Like I've been craving that. And so I'm just like, I'm going to go get that. But the other thing that I do a lot of is rock climbing, and I am climbing hard right now. Like I can actually go after it. Yeah. And I'm climbing better. Well, it's maybe 2 weeks since I've climbed, so it's probably gone down quite a bit. But I was climbing harder than I was. Silks, it's really different. Like they're both different, but there's so much that you can't do that's like encumbered by it. You're on the climbing wall, your balance is thrown off, breathing's definitely different. But with silks, like even like a hip key is uncomfortable. And I've never been a drops person. I'm not I just don't love doing them. I've never been one who just like wants to spin all the time. I love the theory of things.
That's why you're a fan of Dara's.
Yeah, she literally wrote the book on it, but yeah.
Literally.
Yes. But yeah, that kind of stuff is, I can't get enough of it, and you just can't do quite as much. Yeah.
Does it make a difference that when you're climbing a wall, you can have your legs separated for most of it? Does that make a difference? Does it make a difference that you are using 4 appendages to support yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
All the time?
And it definitely legs makes a difference. How you find balance on the wall. And even with my balance being thrown off with the belly, there's still a way to find it. Whereas it's harder to change that up, I feel like, during pregnancy, for some things. And I think the biggest thing is I recently I can still invert. It's just as different, when you're coming down from an inversion now, or when I'm coming down from an inversion, it's much more in the inversion, and I'm going to put an X behind my back and crochet my legs and then supported come down. I'm not, I can't just like quickly flop down anymore. It's just so much more to it. It is really fun though to find those adaptations. With having my own disability, which hasn't really encumbered that much of my own practice, it's just been a big goal to have adaptations for other people though. And so having this change in my body, it's been really interesting to find the adaptations for that. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Are you a climber? Do you like doing the belaying, going high, or are you a boulderer?
I do, I don't do lead, but yeah, I top rope. So I like going higher on the rope. I'm not big on bouldering, but I would have stopped for pregnancy. I don't want to do any falls. I stopped.
Yeah, because coming down is the thing, right?
Yeah. I stopped lead climbing. I'm not doing any falling.
What is lead climbing?
It's where you take the rope up with you and you
I see.
You're on the wall. So
in.
If you fall, you're probably falling like 10 feet versus maybe an inch.
Right. Okay. So I only have one story of me doing climbing a wall on a belay.
Yeah.
And I was with my brother, who's 6 years younger, he's very dry humor. And he's just like, my whole life, he's like, stop being such a wimp. Like the whole time. So I get up to where I'm comfortable on silks. I don't know, 25 or 30 feet. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I don't need to go the extra 15 feet that is available to me. But he's belaying me. And he's like, these places are packed. And he screams, don't be a pussy. Really loud at me. And I also don't want to jump into the belay, because what makes me more scared of being that high is that like 5 inches of free fall before the belay cinches me. Mm-hmm. That's what was scary to me. So I was like frozen up there because I was like, I'm not going further up and I'm not going to jump into the harness. So work with me. And then he just wouldn't. He was such a like asshole, basically. And then I haven't been sent. But also because I do something so alike, like to me, I could go back today if I want to. I'm just like not that interested. Yeah. But that's my one story. Listeners.
My brother started climbing after me, and he's lucky because he had the most supportive person.
Oh, see?
Yeah. You should have gone first.
Oh, and you know what was the more annoying thing than that? Like I would bring my girlfriends. Like the one time I went with him, it was like me and my 2 girlfriends and him. And so that's how he treated me up there. And then when he was teaching them, oh, was that a different personality? The answer is yes.
Oh no.
He was so nice and such a gentleman. And they were like, wow, Chris, you're such a good teacher. He's like, I was like, oh my God, I want to punch you in the face. Oh my God. It's such a brotherly thing to be like that. He was just such the gentleman. So what are your thoughts on labor and delivery? I love asking this for my people who are about to do it for the first time.
Yeah, I did this whole class thing that I was talking about, and I'm going into it and trying to do minimal interventions. So like no epidural, and then having the bathtub in the room if I can get that. But I'm also like, I kind of touched on this before. I'm really open to just changing when I need to. I think my mother-in-law was like, just so you know, if you want the epidural, it's not like you can change your mind and you get it. They have to, you get put on a list. So try, if you're going to want it, make that decision early, stuff like that.
What does that even mean? You have to get put on a list? I don't understand.
So for both her and my sister-in-law, when they asked for the epidural, they had to wait like several people. There was one guy going around.
Oh, the anesthesiologist had to be put on a schedule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she was like, just know you can't just change your mind and then you get it. You have to wait for it after you do that. So just have that in mind if you're trying to go into this without an epidural, but open to an epidural. So it's not just that. Like I'm just trying to be, I have my information. I have an idea. I have things that Shane can do to help my husband with pain management. I have movement that I can do, different things that I can try, positions like that, but keeping it open. If they tell me this is the healthiest thing, I'm going to take that information in, think about it, and actually consider it. So just trying to be, just open.
Yeah. I like this. And then, there's a host of questions that I have. Like I have a running list right now of questions to ask Dr. Janae, who comes on here every once in a while.
Yeah.
The OBGYN that I have coming on here. And that's one of the questions that I want to address is why some women, if they opt for an epidural later, like really later, like they've been pushing, they've been in it, and it hasn't necessarily, sometimes it's not successful, and then other times it's very successful. I have so many questions about that because I don't really understand that. Yeah.
One of my friends who had ended up having the C-section, she said that they gave her an epidural and it didn't take. And
yeah, what's that about?
She was like, they're like, oh, this is so rare. And she was like, well, don't tell me that now. Like, let's just get through this. That doesn't help me. That makes it so much worse in my head right now. And, when my sister delivered, she was also going for unmedicated. She was in labor for 22 hours.
Yeah.
I showed up at hour 20. And it was just 5 minutes after she ended up being like, all right, just screw it. Give me the epidural. And I walked into the room and she just looked so happy on the bed. She's like, hi, Anna. I was like, oh, I'm so happy you did this. So like, that's always been in my head. It wasn't like I came into this, like, I don't want an epidural. That came after the birthing class because my experience being in the room was with Carmen, who was just like that, hi, Anna. I'm like, okay, epidurals, they can be good. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so interested just from an intellectual standpoint to talk to you after the baby comes. Because I always love the before and after. Because sometimes it's like, oh my God, one of my check-ins, she was like, I've had 2 people tell me the crowning of in the vaginal canal was like almost orgasmic in like experience. And you know what I'm saying? And then everyone else was like, oh, hell no. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just so different. I'm so interested. I can't wait.
The class that we took was pretty crunchy. And we watched this video of this woman who she was a doula and she had a home birth, and we watched her do this like water birth at her home with her husband and kids, like in the tub with her and all of that. And like, just, it was like, she clearly, like, she has so much education on this. She's a doula, you know, she knew what she wanted, all of this. And she was talking about like all these different emotions and feelings and stuff like that. And she just seemed so like at peace with it. And I'm so happy for her. And I'm like, I just don't think that I can't really imagine that being my experience. Like, I'm really scared about this. And again, this is very different. She's a doula. This is my first pregnancy, but it was like, that's why I'm just like, I'm just no expectations, really. Honestly, I've known that this is a thing that intimidates me. And I just needed to get pregnant because now the baby's just got to come out somehow, you know?
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, get this thing out. That was my thing. Yeah. I ended up with the C-section. And so my kid, you know, I'm very open with her, and she's just like, is that how all babies come out? They have to cut you open? I was like, no. We've been talking about it a lot. She's staring at me now. Anna, I can't wait. Just selfishly, just so I can hear the rest of the story. Yeah. And congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Hi.
Okay, it's your turn to say goodbye. Oh, kiss. Oh, you know you're going to have a squishy one that just follows you everywhere like this one. Huh? You want to say goodbye to Anna?
Bye.
You know she has the same name as your favorite Frozen character.
Let it go.
Yeah, but Elsa's my favorite.
Actually, that's Elsa.
Wait. I thought you liked Anna too.
I like both, but Elsa like
is your favorite.
Yeah, but Elsa does. But if I have an Anna costume, I'll like her. If I have one of the costumes from Frozen, I'll like them.
Okay, whichever costume she has, she'll go with.
Okay,
that makes sense. She does have the same hair as Anna, though. Anna. We'll talk to you next time.
It has been a pleasure. I've been so excited. I'm a big fan. So thank you so much for reaching out. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great one.
Okay. Bye. My listeners, if you would honor me with a 5-star rating and review, I would appreciate it forever. It is the hardest thing about being a podcaster is to get your podcast out to the people who want to listen. So the best way to do that is to have a good star rating and just ride that algorithm. So I really appreciate if you guys would just open the Apple app and leave me a review. It makes such a difference. I appreciate you. I also have Greener Grass with Digitent Podcasts with my friend Kelly McVeigh. If you want to hear my voice twice a week, it's there for you. It's light, it's heartfelt, and we bring on some really amazing guests. All right, my friends, over and out. This is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is The Expecting Aerialist.